And hello there. Let's keep your week rolling this way. The right mix of news and conversations. And where you're catching us online, on our TV, or on TV. Wow. Hop on and join the chat. I'm Paolo de Rosario.
Hello there, beautiful people. I'm Asis-Carilo. Here's your daily dose of deep dives and good vibes. Welcome to Beautiful Day.
I stumbled out of the blocks yet again. My goodness. But welcome to the show, everyone.
It's a Friday. Finally, Friday.
Nagbakasyon na yung boses ko. And of course,
ang aga naman mag-weekend ng voice
looking
mo.
for a long weekend kasi.
Because you need to get some rest.
Of course, I'll be in Batangas over the weekend for a wedding I'm attending. No, wedding naman.
Okay.
So it should be fun, and of course it's going to be a great weekend. But of course, before that, we have so much to talk about because still we are going to be concerned about people's health muna.
That's right, because today is World Diabetes Day.
Yes.
So a doctor is going to be joining us later for Health Matters. We're going to be talking about diabetes and how to manage this illness. And I wanted to ask her about childhood diabetes as well.
Yeah.
Because hindi lang yung mga adults ang nagkakaroon ng diabetes. So sa Filipino nga, Filipino pronunciation, diabetes.
Diabetes. Yes. We're
so
worried
hindi lang
about
adults
diabetes.
ang nagkaka-diabetes, but
Of
also
course.
kids. So later we'll be asking our guest doctor about that for Health Matters.
Yeah.
And we got some kanin for hangout today.
Okay. Well, for some people who have diabetes, sinasabi nila they reduce the rice.
Oo.
Ito, hindi. You're
Or
gonna want
have
more of
black
this.
rice.
Or have black rice.
Yeah.
Exactly, because we have Kaning Itim, a musical that gives heart to Filipino mythical creatures. We're gonna get that later on.
That is interesting.
So we're gonna find out more and more about it. Actually, I like the fact that we are now seeing more and more productions, or even animations, or
Yes.
even storytelling that involve yung mga Philippine mythology
Yeah.
and mythological creatures, mythical creatures as well. So
Sobrang
I'm excited
perfect
for
nito
that.
if we talked about it nung Undas with our guest, si Sir Edwin, di ba?
Oo. Wala.
And he was talking about yung mga kapre,
Kapre.
and mga, what's that, yung manananggal.
Manananggal.
Yeah.
Oo, mga tiyanak rin daw. Pero yeah, manananggal nga yun. Oh, that's right.
Midriff.
Oo.
Tama, di ba? Dito sila na humahati.
Yeah,
like
yung
below
naka-crop top sila.
Naka-crop top.
Oo.
Yeah. So sila talaga nagpauso ng crop top.
Yeah, by the way,
Yeah.
the doctor joining us later is Dr. Monica Therese Cating-Cabral.
Yes.
She'll be joining us to talk about your diabetes, whatever you like to call it. Diba? So we have a lot to discuss when it comes there. And for those who have questions about it,
Yes.
they can actually send in questions over our social media pages. And where's that?
Facebook and on YouTube, it's BNCPHL. Please do join us, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Our comment section is already open, and I always check that.
Yes.
So feel free to send us anything, even greetings, shout-outs. We can say hi to you wherever you are in the world watching us right now. But
Yes.
thank you for joining us. We're going to be here all the way till 8:30, an hour and a half of information and a lot to talk about for our headlines. But first up, we are going to be checking the situation in major roads at this hour. So here is a look at EDSA Orense in Makati. On the left side of your screens, you're seeing vehicles heading to Pasay City. No problem yet as of this hour. Light traffic on that stretch. Same situation on the opposite lane. Right side are vehicles going to Shaw Boulevard. Light traffic there as well. Actually, light to moderate traffic on that area. Now this time, let's take a look at EDSA White Plains. Already busy on the left side of your screens. Those are the vehicles heading to Shaw Boulevard. Moderate to heavy traffic already building up on that lane. Opposite side, the right side of your screens are vehicles heading to Cubao. Light traffic on that area. Now, heads up to motorists. The expanded vehicle number coding scheme is in full swing. It's a Friday, so vehicles with license plates ending in 9 and 0 should be off the road right about now until 10 a.m. and again from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Now on to our top stories this morning. No Merry Christmas for them. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. says 37 individuals involved in the flood control scandal will be arrested before the holiday.
Kaya't yung mga taong yan na kasabwat dyan, eto, mga walang hiyang ito, na nagnanakaw ng pera ng bayan, tapos na ang maliligaya ninyong araw. Hahabulin na namin kayo.
The president confirmed during a report on his administration's investigation that some of the 37 are lawmakers. Though the names have not yet been released, PBBM says that former House Speaker and presidential cousin Martin Romualdez is not one of them.
So I don't know. No, with the speaker, no. Not as yet. Not as yet. If something else comes out, then he might have to be answerable for something.
And as for former Congressman Zaldico, the president said that filing of charges against him are a matter of when and not if.
Well,
the president has also said that once cases have been filed against former Speaker Zaldico, former Congressman Zaldico, then his passport will be revoked.
Yes.
So since it is a matter of when and not if, we will be waiting for these cases to be filed. And then finally, maybe he can be asked to come back to the Philippines.
the administration says there are 37 lawmakers who are being investigated.
37 people on the list, and
Yeah.
some of them are lawmakers.
Yes. Some of the 37 are lawmakers rather. And when you take a look at the names, it makes you wonder, who have we not heard of who are part of the list?
Yes.
Right? That's one. And second, if the arrest will be made before Christmas, how quick is the process?
Oo.
Tapos, kasi sinasabi nga natin, importante rin yung due process and of course, seeing the transparency of how it happens. Of course, a lot of people have been having clamors for the arrest to happen. But
Kasi
what
ang
will
tagal
happen?
na. This is the
Oo.
reason why we are having all these protests. May protest rally ng November 16 to 18 from the INC group. And then November 30, meron ulit tayong protest rally from the groups naman that gathered nung September 21. Because people are getting really impatient, di ba? It's
Yeah.
not like minamadali natin for no reason. But kasi we want someone to be held accountable for everything that they have done for stealing the people's money, di ba? Si Secretary Vince Dizon of the DPWH said that in an interview, sabi niya 40 individuals naman daw will be held accountable in 2 flood control scandal cases expected to be filed by the Office of the Ombudsman before the Sandigan Bayan. So 40 people naman on Secretary Vince Dizon's list.
I'm actually curious to know whether or not the list that the President Bongbong Marcos, Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has is the same list that the DPWH has.
Feeling ko, it
Kasi
might
iba yung
have the
number,
same names.
Pero iba yung
Oo.
number, 37 and 40.
The
So,
ICI
we'll see.
also has a list, and I think that's your next
Actually,
item.
yes, because the Independent Commission on Infrastructure has submitted its 5th report to the Ombudsman. The list of people they will recommend for criminal charges grows as the new report details a ghost flood control project in Hagonoy, Bulacan.
Based on the report endorsed by the Commission on Audit, COA, it was established that no structure was constructed at the location specified in the approved bid plans.
Aside from Hernandez and Alcantara, 4 other Bulacan engineers will be recommended for charges to the Ombudsman.
It appears that several DPWH public officials were grossly negligent, if not remiss, in the performance of their respective duties to ensure that the project was properly implemented and that government funds were lawfully and prudently disbursed.
The ICI added that within the next week they will be recommending charges against at least 3 incumbent or former senators. These are aside from Senators Joel Villanueva and Jingo Estrada, who were recommended in the past month. So, ayun nga.
Madadagdagan yung names of the senators on the list. So aside from Senators Joel Villanueva and Jingoy Estrada, meron pang 3
Yes.
na madadagdag.
And hindi nakaiwas si Senator Joel Villanueva and Senator Jingo Estrada, by the way. They are said aside
from them.
Who, again, they were already recommended in the past few months. So, the thing with this is that this is the 3rd list we're talking about today. So, we have the list from President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., the list from Secretary Dizon, and now the list from the Independent Commission of Infrastructure. So
Yes.
for me, it's almost like who is not on that list or who's in all three is also an interesting one.
Martin Romualdez is not on the list.
Of
so,
President,
of
Ferdinand Marcos
President
Jr.
Marcos. So, isa yun sa mga pangalan na alam mo yung mga tao gusto nilang makitang managot. But
At least be part of the Blue Ribbon
oo,
Committee.
kasi
Yes.
especially after Orly Gutesa's
Allegations, yeah.
allegations na naghahatid ng bags of money to their homes and also Zaldico's residents as well. So we'll see what happens. The jail is already ready and waiting for the first few people na mako-convict
So the question
na
is,
guilty.
who will be spending Christmas there?
Who? Yes.
Will they be spending Christmas there?
Sana bago
That's
mag-Christmas.
another,
That
ano.
is what people are asking for, you know. But you know what? Let me just add before I move on to my next article. The Senate Blue Ribbon Committee hearing will resume today.
Oo nga eh.
So,
On a Friday pa talaga, no?
yes, on a Friday. And we will see kung sino itong mga witnesses that will be invited to the hearing today.
Including a special one.
A very important. You know what? Si Senator Amy Marcos has said, una, sabi niya si Martin Romualdez yung VIP witness. And then she changed that. Sabi niya si Zaldico daw, yung VIP witness who was invited via Zoom. But Senator Panfilo Lacson said he did not invite Zaldico to the hearing. So, sino itong VIP witness? That is what we are going to find out later. 10 a.m. ang start ng Blue Ribbon hearing.
Abangan dito sa BNC.
That's right.
The Bilyonaryo News Channel.
Parang parang theatrical release ang dating.
Actually, parang what's the tea, no?
Yes. Now, moving on, one of the most enduring and polarizing figures in Philippine politics has died. Chief Presidential Legal Counsel and former Senate President Juan Ponce Enrile has passed away at the age of 101. His daughter Katrina Ponce Enrile announced his passing yesterday, November 13, at 4:21 p.m., saying he peacefully returned to his creator, surrounded by family at their home. Further announcements on Enrile's wake and public viewing are expected in the coming days, but for now, his family asks for privacy as they grieve. So our prayers and condolences go out to the family of JPE. You know, according to our reporter Hannah T, the family of JPE has told Bilyonaryo News Channel that documents from the Aglipayan Church in Cagayan, where he was born, showed that he was actually 2 years older. So he
Yeah.
was 103. Yes,
Well,
based on those records.
Yeah, so actually, for those wondering why there was a bit of a discrepancy, that's actually the reason why. Because we actually saw the documents, or at least our Hannity saw the documents from the Aglipayan Church that he is at 103. Either way, centenarian.
That is a long, fruitful, productive life.
Yeah, he.
Yes.
If you talk about impact and legacy, he definitely has one. Polarizing is, I believe, the right word, because as many supporters as he has, he also has many detractors.
Yes.
So when we always say you can't please everybody, and that definitely was the case for Juan Ponce Enrile, and he's been such an enduring figure.
Yes.
The jokes going around that
Oo,
he's
may mga
seen it
memes.
all, every single part of the
Yeah.
Philippine history.
Not just Philippine history. Minsan nga may memes pa nakasama siya sa Last Supper.
Yeah.
With Jesus
Eh,
and
you know,
the
it's
apostles.
surreal. It's surreal right now
Yeah.
to be able to. It's surreal right now to talk about it. But now that he's finally gone, it feels almost unreal. So again, our hearts go out to his family, and we're going to move on from there at the moment. We move on to Senator Bato de la Rosa, Ronald Bato de la Rosa, who asked the Supreme Court for help. In his petition to the SC, he asked for a temporary restraining order on any authorities from fulfilling the arrest warrant and Interpol Red Notice against him. He also asked the court to order the DOJ and FDA to confirm if any such warrant has been released by the International Criminal Court.
Now in world news, federal employees return to work in Washington after the longest government shutdown in U.S. history has ended. U.S. President Donald Trump on Thursday signed legislation ending the 43-day shutdown that started on October 1st. The legislation extends funding for most federal agencies until January 30 next year. It guarantees back pay for thousands of federal workers who had worked without pay or had been laid off due to the shutdown. This offers some hope that air travel services would recover before Thanksgiving holiday travel.
Now over to sports. Spanish ace Carlos Alcaraz has clinched his year-end world #1 ranking. The Spaniard downs two Italians in one swing with a 6-4 and 6-1 win over Lorenzo Musetti, eliminating him from the season-ending championship and railroading Jannik Sinner's hope of retaining that top spot in the ranking. Alcaraz, who previously ended 2022 as a world #1, had the best season of his career, reaching the final of 3 Grand Slams, winning the French and U.S. Open, winning 8 titles in just one season, and still on course to bag his first ATP Finals trophy.
And here we go with our first cup of tea this morning. Actress Cynthia Erivo to the rescue. As an overly excited fan grabbed her co-star Ariana Grande during Wicked for Good premiere in Singapore. The attacker was identified as Johnson Wen, or Pajama Man, who turned out to be a self-proclaimed stage invader. Pajama Man had also previously intruded the concert stage of The Weeknd, Katy Perry, and Chainsmokers. If you have seen that video, Cynthia Erivo was faster than the security actually to get to Ariana Grande, and she really protected her from that intruder.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? So when they dragged that guy, apparently he was arrested, but he posted on his Instagram bragging that, you know, he's free after being arrested. So I'm looking at it right now on my phone. But he actually posted na okay, he's still okay after that whole incident. And talagang he does that.
Yeah, he does.
He goes to concerts and he's arrested kuno, and then after that he's being set free, and then he does it again.
Yeah, you know, he's through with playing by the rules or playing someone else's game.
Pero that's scary, no, for celebrities to experience something like that.
You know
Kasi
who
they
will
can
have
be-
it worse? You know who will have it worse? The security guards that let them through.
Oh yeah.
Actually, when you take a look at the security, it's like, how did he even get through in the first place?
He
So,
jumped through the ano eh.
Even if you jump.
What's that?
Yeah, the barrier.
He jumped through
Even
the
if you
barrier
jump.
and then ran straight to Ariana Grande, and then Cynthia Erivo saw him coming already, tapos she ran to the side of Ariana Grande to protect her there. Oh. And then the netizens were saying, buti na lang it was Cynthia Erivo who got to that side first, because if it was Michelle Yeoh, she would be, I don't know, more vicious.
Have you not seen
Crouching
Crouching Tiger,
Tiger.
Hidden Dragon, diba?
Yeah.
Baka hindi nila nakita kasi yung tiger naka-crouch at yung dragon hidden rin eh.
Baka yun pala yung Crouching Tiger. But
Kaya siya
anyway,
nakalusot.
I'm glad that she's safe. Nothing bad happened. But it could be dangerous, yung mga ganyang klaseng incidents. Diba? Baka may dalang weapon.
It's not for good,
Like
it's for bad.
there were... Sige na nga.
Move on na tayo.
Move on na tayo. Second cup of tea. Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi pine for each other in the new trailer for Wuthering Heights. Warner Brothers and of course Valentine's Day.
Ayun, pero Christmas.
Oo nga. Christmas muna bago
Christmas muna,
Valentine's.
bago Valentine's. Oo.
Oh my
Tama ba?
goodness.
When's it coming out? When's it coming out? Valentine's Day nga. Okay,
Valentine's
we're gonna
Day.
move on. Nalito ako,
Ayaw
sorry.
maniwala sa akin,
Hindi ako
guys!
naniniwala. That's not that. It's just that I was so focused on boxing, okay?
Okay, sige.
Wow, now speaking of boxing, because this can actually help people who are suffering from a certain ailment, all right? Because up next, about 6% of Filipino adults are living with diabetes. That's nearly 4 million people that is projected to rise to 5.2 million by 2030. Now, this World Diabetes Day, we talked to endocrinologist Dr. Monica Therese Cating-Cabral on health matters after the break. Beautiful day. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Beautiful Day. Now, diabetes is the fourth leading cause of death in the Philippines. Nearly 4 million people are living with it, and it's projected to rise to over 5 million by 2030. Now, this World Diabetes Day, we talked to endocrinologist Dr. Monica Therese Cating-Cabral on health matters. It's a beautiful day, Doc. Thank you so much for joining us. We are so happy you're here live.
Live, right?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for the invitation. Good morning, Paolo, and everybody who's viewing us today.
I love it because normally doctors are afraid to go here for some reason. They're always via Zoom.
Via Zoom lang,
You are
yeah.
very brave.
Well,
to
we're
be
busy.
here.
you know, mainly.
Yes, of course.
Oh, but of course, right now it is World Diabetes Day. It's a great time to raise awareness, and I don't think a lot of people realize how prevalent it is here in the Philippines.
Yes.
When we talk about the numbers that we were mentioning a while ago, 4 million living with it now. By 2030, it will rise around 5 million. The trends don't change, right?
Yes.
Just how prevalent is diabetes here in the Philippines, and do you feel that number might actually be underreported?
Definitely underreported. So when you talk about the national health surveys that say, it's around 4 or 5%, we're talking about adults 20 years old and above. And it's just a small population that they've actually been able to survey. And we also have patients with pre-diabetes. That's about, say, 27 million. So you add all the numbers up, we have a lot of patients who are at risk for becoming diabetic as well in the future. And we're underreported because, lack of testing, lack of awareness. So there are a lot of Filipinos out there who still need to be diagnosed and treated.
For the sake of our viewers, Doc, let's start with, telling them what exactly is diabetes and what are
Yes.
the main types that we need to know about, especially here in the Philippines.
Yes. So diabetes basically means your blood glucose levels are high, your blood sugar.
Yeah.
And this is because of two reasons. Either you have insulin that you can't use or insulin that you don't have. So insulin is a hormone that allows our glucose levels, so whatever you eat becomes sugar. Everything you become sugar, not just rice, everything becomes sugar eventually. That sugar needs to be stored in the body, anywhere in your muscles or in your fat tissue, so that you can use that, or your liver, so that you can use that later on for energy. To store it, you use insulin.
Okay.
So patients with, say, no insulin at all, that is type 1 diabetes.
Okay.
So it's a type of diabetes that we usually see in children, but it can be seen in younger adults as well. But it's an absolute absence of insulin, so they can only survive with insulin injections every time they eat.
Okay.
That's type 1.
Wow, okay.
Now, type 2 is insulin resistance, where you have the insulin or you don't have enough of it, and you just can't use it properly. So you're resistant to it. Ayaw mong
So your
gamitin.
body does not use it properly?
Correct.
Okay.
So when you can't use it properly, you can't store the glucose levels properly, the glucose, and it spreads around in the body, and that's what causes the complications.
Okay.
Now, for type 2 diabetes, we can use tablets, but we can also use insulin. So just because you're on insulin doesn't mean you're a type 1. But it's just that type 1 diabetics need insulin absolutely, no tablets. They don't respond to tablets.
Okay.
Yeah, so those are the two main types. There are a whole lot of other types. There's diabetes that occurs in pregnancy, so that's
Yes.
called
Gestational,
gestational diabetes, and it usually resolves after the pregnancy. But then these women and even the children are at risk for diabetes later on.
Okay. All right, so we saw the numbers that are on the rise.
Yes.
Is there any trend we can actually point at as to why that's happening? Because it feels like we're talking about it a lot. I feel more and more people are open about it, yet the numbers keep on growing. Is there something that we're seeing culturally or even lifestyle-wise that I guess Filipinos haven't really changed?
Okay. Lifestyle-wise, we are now seeing more sedentary lifestyles. The Zoom culture. We're not getting up to walk around anymore. It's so easy to get convenience foods. Less healthy foods are more available than healthy foods. And I guess the population is just growing so fast that we can't catch up. But awareness is still one thing. The ability to get patients diagnosed and treated, because cost is an issue as well. You can get diagnosed, but what if you can't treat the problem because the patients can't afford their medications? Those are the other problems
How about,
there.
Doc, how about rice? Because people blame rice
Especially
in so many
white
ways.
rice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kasi tsaka
Alright.
rice-eating country talaga tayo.
Okay, we're
eh.
Asian.
Yeah. Yeah.
Being Asian is one of the risk factors, unfortunately. So if
Okay.
you're comparing being Asian and Caucasian, for instance, you can have the same what you call BMI, the body mass index. So that is how heavy you are for your height. So you take the same person, Asian and Caucasian, with the same BMI. You can actually see that the Asian person may have more visceral fat.
Yeah.
So it's the fat that's inside the body that you can't see. I'm not talking about, the round tummy and all that, but that's also a risk factor.
Yeah, marami
having
ako
a
dun. Yeah.
big tummy. So that may indicate that you have a lot of visceral fat, and that increases your risk more.
Okay.
So sometimes it's genetic. We have what we call non-modifiable risk factors. Age, you can't, slow down aging, unfortunately. You can't change your genetics. You can't change who your parents were.
Yeah.
So those are the things that are non-modifiable. But if we want to look at things that we can change, diet, exercise, not smoking, limiting alcoholic content, being more active. Those are the things that we can change in terms of trying to prevent diabetes, or at least prevent it from getting worse.
And we also, talking about parents who are watching this interview right now on television, as parents, we also play a role
Yes.
in, making sure that as we raise our kids, we keep them safe from diabetes, right? Because you mentioned already a while ago, Doc, that young adults can have diabetes, children can have diabetes. Some people say that yung mga bata hindi naman nagkakaroon ng diabetes, right? But now we're seeing a growing number of children
Yes.
already having diabetes. And according to this survey in Manila, 1.4 per 1,000 pediatric patients in one Manila hospital had type 1 diabetes, and 0.91% prevalence for pediatric T2D in a survey. Now, what do these numbers tell us about yung risk for our children? And ano yung pinaka-common, Doc, na type that we see in Filipino children?
It's still type 2. It's still type 2 that's more common. Type 1 is really fairly rare all over the world. And then again, it's a problem of diagnosing them. Unfortunately, we don't get them all. But if we have more awareness, and of course, parents will be able to send their patients, their children, to the pediatricians, right? But in terms of kids, it's lifestyle, really. Parents, I tell my patients, I know you have a new baby, you had gestational diabetes, watch out for the baby becoming bigger as they get older. And I know the grandparents, unfortunately, it's the ones who want to, fatten them up.
Kaya ako tumaba dati, Dok.
You know what? That is so true.
Oh.
Kasi yung mga lolo't lola parang, kain ka
Yes,
nito, kain
because
ka nito.
Cute babies, fat babies are cute,
That's true, though.
But fat adults are not. So unfortunately, when you're obese in your infancy or in your childhood, and even if you lose the weight, it can all come back. It's that rebound that they call.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it is a lot. It's not just the parents. It's really the culture. Fast foods and processed foods. These are the ads that the children see all the time.
Right.
These are the things that are easy to access. And I know we do have some laws. Like the beverage tax and etc.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's not enough. We're trying to get legislature to show that front of package labels. The nutrition facts on the
Yes.
back.
Yeah.
Yes, they're there, but I can barely read them.
Yeah.
You know,
They need
even
to be bigger.
even kids can't really read them, right? It's not very clear. So now they're talking about front of package
Yeah.
labeling. And then I know that some cities have tried to, publish the caloric content of certain foods. And it's not consistent all over.
That's true.
So that's still something that we need to pick up on. We need healthier practices in our community,
Right.
not just at home. But of course, it starts at home. So if we can try to have healthier foods at home, whole foods, fruits and vegetables, less of the packaged stuff. If you look at our what we call pinggang Pinoy, so I think they're
Yeah.
showing it here, no? So the pinggang Pinoy, it's like dividing your plate into, look, surprisingly, 33% rice. Rice is not the enemy
culprit?
here.
No, it's
Okay.
not.
It's the amount.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, and then even if you don't eat rice, but you replace it, for instance, with bread. So a lot of people don't know that half a cup of rice is like a slice of bread.
Yes.
Okay, so that exchange is also something that we're not aware of. And then look, the other 33% is vegetables. You only have 17% protein and then 17% fruit. There is nothing on that plate that says candy or juice or soda or chips, right? And then
Yes,
that other thing
yes.
on that glass on the side is water.
Water. Right, right.
So juice is nice, but the juice also has fruit
lot of
sugar.
sugar.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fructose. So even if it's unsweetened, no added sugar, even buko water, buko juice is still juice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're going to try and replace sugary things in your diet, eliminate the drinks. All drinks that have any sugar in them, even flavored coffees. You go to a coffee shop and they put a lot of syrup on those things.
Even zero sugar drinks,
But
right?
they have
Yeah.
milk sometimes. And the milk is the one that actually has a lot of calories as well.
Well, my coffee's black.
I was gonna say
safe to.
black coffee to.
Black coffee, yes.
I mean, okay, honestly, this is 3-in-1. Okay?
Dok, hindi yan
One
safe.
a day.
One a day.
One a day.
One a day.
You know?
Sige.
Okay.
I think that's something we also have to emphasize. Sometimes it's not necessarily avoiding all the foods totally,
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
but it's having something in moderation.
Yes. Yes.
So the bad stuff in moderation. So once in a while, rarely, okay, and then the better stuff. So I've recently learned this method. You tell your patients, don't eat this, don't, no, and they're gonna not listen to you
Yeah.
anymore. So maybe we can like encourage even our kids. The way is, okay, how about we add some vegetables today, or this week try and
Yeah.
eat 3 more servings of vegetables. Here, have some fruit. Instead of saying no, then maybe if you encourage them to add
To do something else.
that's something
Yeah.
healthy. Yes.
I get that.
Now, go ahead.
Because right now we're going through all of these things here, and some people are discovering their preferences may not be it when
Yes.
it comes to living a healthy diet. What do you feel are the biggest misconceptions that you find yourself correcting most people on when they're talking about diabetes?
Rice.
I was gonna say, I think number one is
It's
rice.
definitely rice.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, yes, you can eat rice, but
Yeah.
maybe don't eat 2 cups. Eat 1 cup.
Yeah.
Even if you cut out like 500 calories a day, you would lose a pound a week.
That's
So 500
Yeah.
calories a day would be 2.5 cups of rice. So if you're a usual 6 cup of rice person per day, you cut out 3 cups, you've already cut out more than 500 calories. You'll lose a pound a week. But don't replace it.
Yeah.
Don't replace it with like 5 slices of bread.
true.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But how about the rice alternatives that we're seeing right
Yes.
now? We're
Okay.
seeing
Shirataki
adlai,
rice.
shirataki,
Yeah.
brown,
Okay.
red,
All right.
black.
Black rice.
So
Yeah.
the types of rice which have more fiber in them, okay, the fiber prevents your glucose levels from spiking too much. White rice doesn't really have that much fiber. You can change that by eating reheated rice.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I've
That's-
seen reels about
Yeah,
that.
that's the glycemic index that you're
Yes.
talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
Yes.
But taken all together, if you still eat too much, it's still too much.
Yeah.
So quality and quantity, they both matter. So, I mean, everybody's like, so what am I going to eat? Well, general moderation. Add more whole foods, less processed foods.
Yeah.
That's the easiest way to say it. I know it's easier said than done because a lot of people stress eat. Sometimes it's the availability of the food. So, diabetes awareness, World Diabetes Day this year is focusing on diabetes in the workplace.
Oh, really? Okay.
I have had patients, they go into a new job and they say, oh, we had like unlimited soda and iced tea, etc. They come back to me years later and they have diabetes. So sometimes it's also the workplace that's
Yeah.
making it worse.
And also stress in the workplace. How does stress or even sleep, lack of sleep, influence blood sugar levels and diabetes risk?
So those both increase cortisol levels. So when you're stressed, when you don't get enough sleep, there are other hormones called ghrelin and all of these other hormones that are affected when you don't get enough sleep, and they can increase your glucose levels as well. Now, people say, so should I get my cortisol level checked? No, you don't need to do that. Cortisol is only checked in certain disease entities. It's not a regular lab test.
Yeah.
So please don't start going out and checking your cortisol levels. But that is why your glucose levels can go up as well with stress.
When we talk about improving insulin sensitivity, because that is something that people are aiming to do, especially when they fight against diabetes, what are the ways to actually do that?
So if you have pre-diabetes or diabetes, we have a medication called metformin.
Yeah.
And there's another one called pioglitazone. So these are 2 insulin sensitizers. Please only take them upon the prescription of your doctor, of course.
yes.
Yeah.
There are other, things that we need to check before you start these medications. But that's another misconception. Metformin destroys the kidneys. I get this every day. It does not destroy the kidneys. Okay. Metformin is usually stopped, however, when you do have kidney problems because it just stays around in the body too long. Because your kidneys are supposed to eliminate all of these things. But metformin is an insulin insulin sensitizer. It's a good medication. I wouldn't stop it just because you read somewhere that it does something to your kidneys or to your liver or causes cancer. It does not.
Okay.
But insulin sensitivity is also improved by exercise. So if you can exercise, 30 minutes a day, it doesn't have to be 30 minutes all at once. If you can break it up into 10 minutes if you don't have time. And then every other day, or at least 5 days a week, try to fit it in somewhere. That also helps with reducing insulin resistance.
Well, now that we're talking about medication, I wanted to ask about Ozempic. Like people all over the world have been talking about Ozempic, taking it for the wrong reasons as well. So what does it do?
Okay.
The GLP-1.
Yes.
Yeah.
So GLP-1 receptor agonists are injectable medication. There are daily formulations. There are weekly formulations.
Yeah.
And it does help with controlling glucose levels. It makes you feel full.
Yeah.
So it slows down how your stomach digests the food. So when you feel full, you're supposed to stop eating. So that's another problem. As social eaters, Filipinos, eat in groups. It's a way that we bond with family and friends. It's family style. You just keep on eating even if you start feeling full already. So once you're on a GLP-1 receptor agonist, it kind of makes you feel that fullness and you're supposed to stop. So patients who don't stop eating when they feel that fullness already, when they're on the GLP-1 receptor agonist, they throw up or they feel the nausea. So that's because, the stomach is stretching out. The thing about Ozempic, is that some of these injectables are only approved for diabetes. So they're being misused in ways for, weight loss, etc.
yeah.
And what I want to tell the public really is if you're going to use any of these injectables, to please make sure you buy them from a pharmacy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we have a lot of people out there who are selling them online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other practitioners who may or may not be doctors who are giving them in the clinics for exorbitant prices.
Yeah.
And we wonder where these medicines are really coming from.
Yeah.
Because only the FDA approved ones are the ones that are being sold in the pharmacies. So whatever's being sold in a clinic, if you're not sure what it is, I don't know where it's come from, I don't know where it was manufactured, so we can't guarantee its safety and even its potency, for instance. And a lot of patients pay thousands
That's true.
for these medications.
And sometimes they market it as a mixture of this and that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they add on all of these supplements that cost a lot. Okay. And I know, the weight loss industry is $1 billion industry.
Yeah.
And this is why, because we provide these things. There are people who do, give these programs for weight loss, for instance, and they charge so much.
Yeah.
But I tell you, the patients that I see, they come back to me and they say, it didn't work, or I paid so much and I only lost this much. It's not for everyone. Not everyone who's going to do this injectable is actually going to lose weight, because in the first place, they weren't formulated for weight loss.
Yeah,
It just so
exactly.
happened, that this was like an effect
It's
of
a
the
side
medication.
effect of it,
Yeah, but it's a good medication. Patients really get well controlled for their diabetes. There are formulations that are for weight loss alone, but please do these under the prescription of a doctor, because there are lots of other things to look at.
Yeah.
It may not be right for you.
Are there any other new developments in terms of diabetes treatment, technology, identification, and of course, how can we encourage more people to at least get themselves tested and try and figure out whether or not they're pre-diabetic in the first place?
So let's go to the testing first and how to get diagnosed. So we have blood tests, of course. There's something called a fasting blood sugar that it's easy to do, but sometimes we miss, the sugars that come after. You eat something, your glucose levels go up,
Yeah.
right? So some patients, they may have diabetes or pre-diabetes and their fasting glucose levels are normal. So we sometimes do something called a glucose tolerance test. So a lot of pregnant women may know this. So you go in fasting, they get your blood first, then they make you drink something sweet.
Yeah, I did that.
You
Oh
did?
my God, yeah.
75-gram oral glucose tolerance test. I've done it 3 times.
I haven't done it yet.
Okay, you can if you want. Men can do it as well, okay? But what you need to do is you get the first hour after you've drunk the sugary drink, and then second hour. But it's a standard 75 grams of glucose. And then we see, 0, 1, and 2 hours, which of the levels are elevated. And at a certain level, it's pre-diabetes. Anything higher than 200 on any of those levels is diabetes. fasting glucose more than 126 is also diabetes. We have an HbA1c as well. But again, each test is different. You need to talk to your doctor about which is right for you. Other places, they can't do all of those tests. At the very least, maybe an HbA1c or a random blood sugar. So it's something after you've eaten, maybe then it's high. So that's how we can test our patients. And of course, go see your doctor.
Yeah.
Right,
If you've seen on the screen, we were flashing IWAS. So apat dapat sa diabetes is our battle cry for our advocacy for diabetes at the Philippine College of Endocrinology, Diabetes Metabolism. And tandan ang IWAS. So IWAS is involve your doctor, ikonsulta sa doktor, go see your doctor. And then W is work on mindful eating. So you see here our pinggang Pinoy, wastong pagkain, right? And then active lifestyle, exercise, aktibong pamumuhay, and then medication, sapat at angkop na gamot, safe and appropriate medications.
Yeah.
So again, being prescribed. If you're talking about technology, we do have things called insulin pumps. And these
Insulin pumps.
Yes. So
Okay.
these are automated machines. They're attached to the body with a little cannula and a little little port. It's called, and then it actually delivers the insulin continuously. It's usually used by type 1 diabetics. Because remember I said type 1 diabetics need
don't have it,
insulin,
yeah.
absolutely,
Yeah.
yes. Although it's very expensive here in our country, if patients can afford it, the technology is amazing. It can also talk to what we call a continuous glucose monitor.
Okay.
So have you seen those patients, they scan things
Yeah.
on their
Yeah,
arms?
yeah.
So there's two kinds of those. There's the ones that you have to scan still, or there's the one that's already attached and it talks to the pump.
Wow. Okay.
So it's amazing where patients can get really very good control. Unfortunately, it's still a little pricey, but I hope those things become more affordable as time goes on.
Yeah, so many things to really consider here, and of course we're hoping more and more people get tested and more people find out whether or not they have it, and of course make that lifestyle change. But then again, with it being World Diabetes Day here, what message do you want to leave to those who are watching, who are curious whether or not they are pre-diabetic or are diabetic, and of course needs to really have a change in their lifestyle and in the way that they approach basic things like even eating?
Yes. So if you are at risk, meaning you have family history of diabetes, you yourself are obese or overweight, sometimes you really don't feel anything when you already have diabetes. They say that you should start screening at 35 years old and above. But if you have any of those risk factors, you can even start earlier. Like I said, we have younger patients, teenagers even, who have type 2 diabetes as well. But I want everybody to know, with proper care and following our apat dapat IWAS, patients with diabetes can live a very long, productive life. And you can go through your life with minimal or even no complications as long as you consult with your doctor, eat the right foods, stay healthy, and take your medication.
All right. I wish we had more time to talk about this, Doc, but thank you so much for joining us today. Before we let you go, we always ask this final question to our guests. Our show is called Beautiful Day. So what makes your day beautiful?
Well, what makes my day beautiful is when I see a patient come back to me and say that everything is better, that they feel better, and they thank me at the end for helping them.
That's such a great
Thank you,
professional
Doc.
answer.
I
I
know.
love that. This is fantastic. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. That's endocrinologist Dr. Monica Therese Cating-Cabral. And we just want to say thank you again. And hopefully we get to talk to you again soon for some other topics that need awareness as well.
Yes.
Really
Thank
appreciate
you,
you, Doc.
Doc.
All right. So when we come back, we're going to take a look at the local weather on Weather HQ after the break.
Plus, our horoscope of the day with Master Hans Kua. So don't go away. Beautiful day. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Beautiful Day. This is Weather HQ. Now, to know more about the latest weather update, we have with us on the line at Pag-asa weather specialist, Benison Estareja. Magandang umaga, Benison. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning, Paolo.
Well, Benison, right now, taking a look at the latest forecast coming from Pag-asa, it is the ITCZ, or the Intertropical Convergence Zone, that is really affecting the country. Where is it affecting? And of course, ano nang mangyayari because of the ITCZ?
Yes, this intertropical convergence zone will prevail over the country in the coming days. Up until weekend po yan, we're expecting Visayas, Mindanao, and Palawan magkakaroon ng cloudy skies and with some scattered rains. Mga light to moderate rains, nagkakaroon ng mga thunderstorms lalo na sa hapon and sa evening. So may chance pa rin ng mga flash floods and landslides po dyan. And yung extreme northern Luzon naman, affected naman sa ngayon ang amihan or northeast monsoon. So Batanes and Babuyan Islands, more on mga isolated light rains lang and colder temperatures.
Still looking at the ITCZ, Benison, may mga regions ba na may mga flood warning because of the ITCZ? Dahil nga na-mention mo, may konting pag-ulan and of course, some weather that will not be favorable.
Yes, yung threats ng baha at saka yung mga landslides po natin in effect pa rin dito sa may parting Western Visayas, Negros Island region, nakakaranas po dyan ng malalakas na ulan. Basically, the central and eastern portions of Visayas, meron din mga areas dyan po ng mga mataas ang chance ng flooding. And then over Mindanao, so far just looking at the latest weather map po natin, we're seeing merong mga heavy rains dito sa may Caraga region, northern Mindanao, and northern portion ng Zamboanga Peninsula.
And of course, the good thing about the weather that we're seeing as we're taking a look at the weather there over in Mindanao, there are no LPAs that are being monitored, no typhoons that are being monitored as well, or at least those with the possibility for it to develop. Kung maalala natin po, I believe this time last year, 4 ata yung sunod-sunod in particular. When we take a look at the northeast monsoon, how is that affecting the northern Luzon? And of course, may gale warning pa ba? Because that has also been an issue in the past few days.
Yes, Sir Paolo, no? Looking back exactly last year, 1 year ago, we're seeing series of tropical cyclones. At least for now, after nitong sinabagyong Tino and Uwan, nakapahinga tayo and we're not expecting naman na may mabubuo muli na tropical cyclone or bagyo, at least within the next 5 days. No? But for the end of November, posible pa rin yung isang bagyo. Dito naman sa may northern Luzon, we're seeing Saturday and Sunday, lalakas pa rin yung amihan natin ng northeast monsoon. Posible lumakas pa ito hanggang central Luzon pagsapit ng Lunes and Martes. Yun nga lang, medyo maulan pa rin dito sa may Cagayan Valley and Aurora and other areas of northern and central Luzon, mga isolated light rains at slightly lower temperatures.
Actually, Benson, we're going to keep you there muna because we're actually going to show people some of the temperatures around here over in Luzon. Ito po sa Tuguegarao, we have a low of 24 degrees Celsius. We go to Baguio in particular, 16 degrees Celsius and 24 being the high there. And of course, in sa Metro Manila, 32 degrees being the high and 25 degrees being the low. Similar temperatures all the way from Daet, Legazpi as well. And of course, Iba also having similar temperatures sa Metro Manila. We mentioned Luzon, we mentioned the Mindanao region, pero paano naman sa Visayas? What weather can we expect there?
For Visayas naman, expected throughout this weekend, cloudy pa rin for most of the day. Tapos ina-expect pa rin nila yung mga pag-ulan. We're recommending them na magdala ng payong and maging mapagmatsyag kung sila magpapatuyo po ng kanilang mga damit kasi magiging madalas yung mga pag-ulan. Especially sa hapon hanggang sa gabi meron din mga thunderstorms. So nandyan pa rin yung cost o yung chances of flooding or landslides, especially knowing na medyo saturated pa yung lupa doon, madaling mag-cause ng baha yung mga nagdaang mga pag-ulan.
We're going to take a look again at the Visayas region. As you were mentioning a while ago, nakakita natin dito, wet conditions almost all throughout the region here. The lows here being the area around 24 degrees Celsius. That's going to be true over in Gian and of course in Iloilo and Tagbilaran, as you can see over here. But apart from that, similar temperatures that we have all around the Visayas region. Alam mo, Benison, I'm really enjoying yung 1-2 punch that we've been having lately with Pag-asa here dito sa Weather HQ. Maraming salamat. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, Benison Estareja, the Pag-asa weather specialist joining us here today. Maraming salamat.
Thank you, Paula.
And that's it for Weather HQ at the moment. And back to you.
Thank you, Pao. Now it's time for us to find out what the stars have in store for us today. Let's hear it from our resident energizer and feng shui master, Hans Kua, in our horoscope of the day. Take it away, Master Hans.
ni Bilyonaryo Master Hans Kua. Ito po ang ating horoscope ngayong lovely Friday, November 14. Para sa mapinanganak ng Year of the Rat, may pagdududa na sumisiksik sa puso. Iwasan muna ang paninisi at alamin ang totoo. Violet at 6. Ok naman tayo, may bayarin. Darating ito, wag nang patagalin. Beige at 4. Kay Tiger naman may supervisor na nagmamasid. Panatilin husay kahit hindi na kinakausap. Yellow at 1. Rabbit naman tayo, bantayan ang pagkahilo, uminom ng sapat na tubig at huwag mag-skip ng pagkain. White at 8. Kay Drago naman tayo, alalahanin ang hygiene lalo na kung maraming hawak. Hinahawakan ka sa paligid. Maghugas ng kamay. Green at 7. Okay, Snake naman tayo, ang pagiging tahimik ay maaaring ma-misinterpret. Linawin ang intensyon. Brown at 9. Ito naman, Care of the Horsey, may posibilidad ng tampuhan. Ang simpleng joke ay maaaring hindi niya magustuhan. Gray at 2. Kay Year of the Sheep naman tayo, huwag magpautang ngayon. Maaaring hindi ito mabawi agad. Blue at 5. Kay Monkey naman, may bagong task na mukhang challenging pero bagay sa skills mo. Go for it! Pink at 6. Kay Year of the Rooster naman, may selos o hinala. Tanungin ng mahinahon at huwag agad magbintang. White at 7. Kay Doggy naman tayo, mainam na ituloy lang ang nasimulan exercise. Consistency ang kailangan. Go, 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 ituloy mo lang yan. Red at 3. O last na tayo. Kay Year of the Pig, huwag babaliwalain ang mga allergies. Mag-ingat kasi maging malinis tayo sa mga pabango, mga alikabok, o mga food na nagtitrigger ng allergy mo. Green at 4. Paalala lang ito po ay patnubay lamang dahil ang tunay na swerte ay nagsisimula sa pagiging totoo. Abangan araw-araw ang horoscope of the day dito lang po sa Beautiful Day with me, Master Hans Kua.
Thank you as always, Master Hans Kua. So my horoscope for today, hindi ako magpapautang. Not just today but ever, ayoko na magpautang.
Ako naman, hindi ako na magjo-joke.
Oh,
Baka may masaktan.
kasi nga naman, minsan pag nag-joke ka,
Ano?
masyadong abrasive. Yun, abrasive.
Abrasive. Na-offend ako doon,
Masyadong abrasive
Grabe.
ang yung joke.
Guys, get over it, okay?
Kaya
Kayo
nga
mag-adjust.
Oh, wow!
Kayo mag-adjust, di ako. I think we have time right now to check
Basta,
on who's
I will
online.
not, wala akong papautangin.
Yeah.
Kasi you know what, nahihirapan ako magsingil ng utang when it comes to money. Even, yung mga utang na like talent fee, I'm so, nahihiya to ask
Wait.
for it.
Hindi yan utang.
So,
They have to pay you.
Yun nga, when it comes to money talaga, I'm not very comfortable talking about it. So, yun. Thank you, Master Hans, for that
Nagpaparinig ka ba?
horoscope. Hindi, I'm just saying, I'm explaining my, wala kang utang sa akin, don't worry.
I know, wala akong utang. I'm just saying.
Wala kang utang sa akin.
Nagpaparinig ka ba to whoever?
Wala. Oo, doon sa mga nangutang sa akin na hindi pa nagbabayad. To Via Llamado, she says, good morning, Parañaque City, watching right now.
Sa Parañaque.
Yeah.
Southside.
Aren't you from Parañaque? Alabang.
Muntinlupa.
Okay.
Mariagon na nun.
From the Alabang. You're an Alavanger. Nor Benito, si Manloy, O'Neill, Jen Paras, sending their messages, reacting to our headlines kanina when we
Yeah.
were talking about the news. Thank you for sending those messages and your opinions, of course. And also to JC Bayangos on YouTube, also sending his opinion on our news items a while ago. So thank you very much for joining us. YouTube and on Facebook, it's at BNCPHL. So our comment sections are still open if you guys want to send us messages, questions for our next guest. Because coming up, we have creators Dana Bernardino and Moesha Kiel de los Reyes to talk about how they brought Filipino folklore to life through Kaning Itim, the musical. So don't go away. Beautiful day. We'll be right back. welcome back to Beautiful Day. Now, imagine a world where kapres, tikbalangs, and duwendes come alive on stage. That is Kaning Itim, an original musical by Studio A Productions that celebrates family and embracing your roots. And guess what? The hit musical is back for its second run in Cebu. We get to know the creators who brought this folklore to life right here on The Hangout. Beautiful day to you, Dana and Moesha. I love your names. Welcome to the show. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for
so
having
much.
us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for waking up early and being here with us live today. Parang natawa sila doon sa waking up early. Parang umeffort sila doon.
Because artists normally do not.
Yes.
Right?
The question is, did we actually sleep?
Sleep, yes.
Yun din.
Normally at this hour, patulog pa lang.
Patulog
Yeah.
pa lang.
Patulog pa lang.
Well, anyway, thank you for being here. And we're going to be talking about this musical, Kaning Itim. How did the unique story of Kaning Itim come to life?
That's for you.
So, if there's one thing about Studio A, we never make stories that are what we consider normal.
Okay.
So, paano ba to? We make stories that give life to the lifeless. So, naisip namin, why not make a story about mythical creatures? Yung mga hindi masyadong pinag-uusapan. Then we just gave it our own creative twist.
Yeah. Did you feel that siguro we have not given enough life to yung Philippine mythical creatures, mythology?
Yes,
Oo.
we just wanted our own interpretation naman. So if you watch the show, you'll get why,
How did you react when you first heard the story?
Oh, I loved it. Absolutely. It was entirely something that I have not experienced before. Because I'm an avid reader and I'm an avid consumer of all things art. So when I read the story for Kaning Itim, when I was exposed to it, it brought so much emotion that I really just could not handle it at first. It made me cry. It made me laugh. It's definitely something it's a tearjerker. It's evoking emotion for people. And honestly, based from what I've learned from being with Studio A and working with Kaning Itim, it definitely was inspired by the power of your choice. It's the power that you have when you get to choose something.
Okay. So we're talking about so much emotions, no? Pero
Oo.
yung characters are mythical creatures. We're talking about the encantos, the kapres, the duwendes, 'di ba?
Mga tikbalang.
Oo, and
Oo.
when you talk about these creatures, ang naisip natin horror,
Horror,
scary
yes.
things. But now you're telling us na it made you cry,
Yes.
'di ba? Are there like lessons from these mythical creatures that humans can relate to?
Ay, a lot.
Okay.
A lot actually. Mostly acceptance or parang everyone who dreams of belonging.
Yeah.
And,
Parang,
sorry, go ahead.
Like us humans, 'di ba? In our everyday life, we always kahit hindi natin inaamin, we yearn to belong and be accepted by everyone around us. So same din dito sa mga encantos.
Oh, they want to be accepted.
Yeah.
I've accepted the kapre in our house. No, that's a true story.
I mean, if you think about it,
Yeah.
we're not entirely sure if we've actually encountered any real encantos in real life. So we don't really know what they feel. We can only base it off as us, as humans. We want to be accepted. We want to belong to a community. We want to have people that are in our corner. So we imagine that maybe that's how they feel too. Imagine the way that they're known is through horror. But what if they have good feelings? What if they want to show us love? What if they want to show us friendship? That's what we wanted to explore.
The one thing that I know at the very least is that talaga may appetite at least for Philippine mythology. I mean, we've seen it from other TV shows. We've seen it in animations. There's a growing exposure for it. But your approach, if I'm not mistaken, nakakater rin for Gen Z. in
Yeah.
a way. Again, you and I were not Gen Z, but at the same time,
That's for sure.
that's for sure. But at the
Moesha
same
is,
time, Moesha is.
I think I'm considered a zillennial.
Zillennial.
It's a bridge
Everyone's
between
may mga
the
di-
identified.
Start with a Z.
Fine, I'll accept it. You're the authority on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the reason why I want to mention that is because the dialogue actually does have Gen Z terms, Gen Z slang, and it feels like you're trying to bring in this classic part of Philippine culture to a younger generation. Do you feel that that's one of the approaches that you needed to do?
I didn't actually intend it that way.
Yeah.
Oh,
Pero
okay.
sige, come to think of it, none of us have actually spoken to an actual Encanto. So we don't really know how they speak. So parang napaghalo ko siya. In my imagination, they speak traditional Tagalog or luma. Ganun sila. Pero at the same time, kaya ako nalagyan ng ganong klaseng dialogue because that's me trying to show them as wanting to keep up with the modern times. That's them. Kaya ganun sila magsalita. And at the same time, I also wanted the audience to be completely immersed in it. Lahat sila
Right.
nakaka-relate.
So for them to understand the encantos.
Yes.
So that's why you used this kind of language. And you had your first run in Pasig,
Pasig, yes.
right? And you will resume this November in Cebu. Kamusta yung audience impact, ano?
Audience
feedback
impact.
from the audience?
10%
Did you
yun,
receive
audience
any criticism?
Oh yeah, we've definitely received a lot of feedback
Okay.
from all of our fans. Actually, this week we were supposed to be
Here,
in Cebu.
right,
This
right
week
now,
actually.
itong week.
This week we were supposed to be in Cebu, but because of everything that
Yeah.
happened,
Yes,
we
typhoon.
decided to reschedule at a later date to make sure that the Cebuanos have enough time to do what they need to do for
Yeah.
themselves as well. But yeah, we did receive a lot of feedback. Of course, we get feedback from everybody from all of our audiences. We've received different points of views of how they received the story, how they understood it as well.
There were actually some critical feedback saying that yung play tells the story more than it shows it. So what's your response to that observation, Dana?
Kasi we don't spoon feed our audience.
Okay.
We want them to be completely immersed in the story that we tell. And we want them to have their own interpretation. We always listen to them. Tapos, ano sabihin ko?
Their feedback is extremely important
Yeah.
to us, of course.
Okay.
We still listen to them. But of course, with all feedback, we also have our own style.
Yeah.
We also have
We
our
filter
own...
naman.
Yeah, we
Oh.
filter
Yeah.
it. And we have our own views and goals for what the show would be. Because at Studio A Productions, our goal is always to tell the story with the audience, not to tell them what to think, how to think, and what to understand from it. We want them to explore their creative minds and express it in how they understand it.
Yeah, the interesting part is because it is an original musical, and because you are open to the feedback, and this is a second run, it feels like there's always going to be a factor wherein people will talk, and whether or not you want to listen, you will listen.
Yes.
Diba?
It's
Oo.
part of the...
It's part of the journey. But at the same time, Ren, how do you feel it has evolved from the first run to the second run, given everything, both positive and negative, that you've heard?
Actually, overwhelming siya because this is our first musical
Yeah.
ever. And Studio A's first comedy.
Okay.
Yes, we've always done horror, so medyo risky to on our part. Pero when we saw the feedback, parang na-overwhelmed din kami. We didn't realize na, okay, na-touch din pala yung mga tao. They loved the story. They came with their families. Na first time na may mga bata na rin sa studio
Yeah, yeah.
namin.
Oh, that's cool.
Your opening weekend was sold out quickly.
Yes.
right?
Yes, very much so.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And you have an original story and an original soundtrack as well,
Yes.
right? Original music. Ano yung mga challenges that you had to face, putting that original music to the story, and then ang characters, mga engkanto.
The entire thing is a challenge,
Okay,
actually. Since, yun nga, first musical to, wala namang kaming alam pa. We know what we wanted to show, pero hindi namin alam how. So, sobrang team effort talaga siya. We exhausted all our creative juices how to pull it off.
Yeah. Just the entire production feels very modern. In fact, some people actually have commented online about yung use nyo of actually AI sa mga promo and teasers ninyo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I mean, like, as a creative, I'm sure you have your own takes on it as well. But it feels like you're using it as a tool to help promote rather than replacing anything.
Yeah, we are very big supporters of artists. Of course, we're a theater production
exactly.
company.
Of course, of
so we
course.
just we believe, like with any other company, we use tools to assist us, but we don't use it to replace the work that needs to be done. Because of course, nothing can really replace
raw
artists.
talent, yes.
Raw talent
Yeah.
is talent, and AI can never replace
that.
the real talent of artists.
Speaking of talent of artists, syempre your cast, they had to play characters that are not human. Di ba?
And they'll have their own takes.
Yes.
Oo, I mean,
Definitely.
how did they, prepare for this role and make sure na they are immersed in their characters kahit na they don't really fully understand what being a kapre is all about, what being an encanto is all about?
That was actually very interesting then. Kasi we had a week of storytelling with the cast. So, explain namin sa kanila, this is how I envision your character. What's your take on it? So, again,
Collaborative.
collaborative
Yeah,
effort din
okay.
siya. Then, yun nga, madami kasing twists per character.
Okay.
So, we wanted their opinions about it. How would you execute this? And
Yeah.
it worked.
So, how different was yung first draft mo to the final product?
Right. My first draft was very long.
Yeah.
So we had to cut a lot of scenes
It
then.
was about 4 hours, right?
4
The first
hours.
draft.
4
Yes,
hours?
we tried running the entire thing and it ran for 4
4
hours.
hours.
So parang, yeah, not gonna work.
Kala ko, so basically si Love Diaz ka pang theater. Oo, yung mga long form.
Di ba Wicked mahaba? Gano'n ba kahaba yung Wicked?
No, two parts din nila yun eh.
Yeah.
Ito
The
yeah,
first
ata
part
eh.
was like 3 hours.
Yeah,
the
but
second
the-
part
the-
is
yeah.
also 3 hours.
Oo.
Yeah.
Movie yun.
Movie yun.
Movie yun.
Oo, pero ginawa niya Love Diaz ng mga play.
Kaya,
But
we had
I
to
mean,
cut.
like, when we talk about that, when we talk about yung process mo, because it's going to change from the ideation to what it was, then you're collaborating with the artist. When you look at what you see on stage right now, is it what you actually envisioned? At least yung goal mo sa huli, even if the path was not the same.
Yes, actually, okay lang siya. Kasi okay lang naman sa amin mag-cut. Pero as long as hindi nako-compromise yung the very core of the story, it's still there. Everyone was able to pull it off. So, I'm okay with how it turned out.
Okay. You know what? What I'm curious about is, ano ba yung why kaning itim? They were talking about kanin. Kanina, when we were talking with our diabetes doctor, we were already talking about
White rice. Too much white
and
rice might be bad.
rice is central in Filipino life, di ba? So, merong symbolic weight ang kanin sa ating mga Pinoy. So, anong this metaphor, kaning itim, what does it signify in the show?
It's a legend actually. Are you
Yeah.
familiar with the legend of Kaning Itim?
Google ko muna.
Wait
Oh,
lang.
explain mo. Explain mo.
Ayan, explain mo na sa amin. Buti na lang
Generation
we
natin
asked.
to.
Buti na lang we asked. Okay, so ano yung kaning itim?
There's the story sa mga
In folklore, actually, even in Filipino mythology,
Okay.
there's a concept where, if you're familiar with fairy tales,
Tales.
where if you eat something from a specific location, hindi ka na makakaalis doon.
You stay
cannot
there. You
leave.
became a part of their community
So the
na.
legend or the
yeah.
mythology of Kaning Itim is that if you partake of the Kaning
Kaning
Itim
Itim.
from the Encantos, hindi ka na pwedeng makabalik from where you came from, whether it was from another dimension or
you
if it's
forget
from,
your life.
yeah, your old life, who you were.
Para siyang,
You forget
it's comparable to Ambrosia, I think, of Greek mythology.
yes.
That's our own version. Kaning Itim.
Yeah.
So this is like the kwento that my lola was telling me.
Yeah,
Yes,
this is definitely the lore.
My great-grandmother was telling me when I was a kid na meron daw duwende royalty that is offering her, nagpapakita sa kanya and is offering her gifts.
Yes.
Yeah, in the form of gold yata or something na really asking her to take it. But she
Yeah.
was telling me na kasi pag kinuha ko
May
yun,
kapalit yan.
Yeah.
masasama na ako sa kanya. So yun yung parang kaning itim.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hindi ko familiar sa gold.
Actually kasi with
gold yung in-offer
with
sa
the
lola
lore,
ko.
Kasi pag gold yun, baka tinanggap ko yun.
they kind of try to present it as something that you might be interested in.
Okay.
Kasi the goal is for you to go with them. So according to our legends, our mythologies, and our lore, kapag what they want is for you to join them. What they want is for you to go with them. So it doesn't necessarily look like kaning itim, but if you accept the gift, you have no choice.
Yeah, you're gonna be
go
stuck
with
there.
them. And
Yeah,
then you're
yeah,
going
yeah,
to forget who you were, what you were, where you came from.
Yeah.
All you will know is their new place, who you are with them, and what they
So
want
if it's
you
a
to be.
duwende ka na.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so ginugol ko.
That is
Tama nga
so
sila.
interesting. Oh, yeah, pero gold yung in-offer sa lola ko,
Oo,
di ba?
baka ano
Pag
to, gold
in-offer
rice,
yun
golden
sa
rice.
pag in-offer yun sa contractor, kukunin yun.
Egg fried rice.
Egg fried rice, golden rice. Ginawang modern, di ba? No, but how did you research for all of this? Kasi a lot of this is folklore. So a lot of it is talagang oral history or oral stories, right? Not a lot of it is actually written down. How was the research process for you guys?
That was everything I based from my childhood
Yeah.
stories.
Stories.
Yes,
Okay.
yun talaga. I grew up with these kind of stories kasi.
Okay.
So I'm very familiar with all of this. Tas syempre, I added my own na lang.
Did you grow up in a province by any chance?
No, here in Manila. But
It's
my mom
Manila.
loves to tell stories kasi.
Lagi may stories, kahit na
Yeah.
taga-probinsya ka, taga-Metro Manila, kami kwentong engkanto
Meron.
talaga palagi.
Yes.
Now, for the viewers who are going to watch Kaning Itim, ano yung emosyon na gusto mong daladala nila after seeing this musical?
Heavy. Wow, no, I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's very lighthearted. We wanted it to be very lighthearted, pero turns out na hindi.
Yeah.
Okay.
They feel so much emotions na pati ko nagugulat.
Yeah.
Not-
And kasi you mentioned it was a comedy, but she was
Yes.
crying.
Yes.
She was crying.
So,
kaya
tama ba yan?
Sad,
Paano yan?
It made you cry.
Oo.
I really asked her, why are you crying?
Oh, she's not funny ba?
No, it's really funny. But it's just that the entire lesson of the entire show, it touches on all of the emotions.
What
that
are
you
the
can
lessons
possibly
that you want them to, bring with them as they leave the theater?
have. That forgiveness is a choice, and it is one of the hardest things that we can do for other people is to forgive them. But forgiveness is not just for the other person. It's also for you.
For yourself.
When you forgive other people, it frees you to love them. It frees you to accept them. And also on top of that, it touched on a lot of very personal
For her,
things for
yes.
me. Chosen family, found family, choosing the people that you get to be with, and that it doesn't matter where you came from, who you came from, but the people you choose to surround yourselves with, that's what matters.
So that's why you were crying.
Yeah,
That's
pala.
why.
That's why you were
Now I
crying.
totally understand.
Combine it with the songs that we have for
Yes,
the
the songs
entire
are
show.
very
I
beautiful.
I watched opening weekend and I was like,
Well, we're definitely going to sa Cebuyan, right? So I
Silipat
hope
muna
that
tayo.
Sana
we're gonna have a show
makapanood
this
tayo.
we have a show
weekend.
this
Yes.
weekend.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. Here in Manila.
Here in Manila,
yes.
yes.
Sorry,
Okay.
so for those who want to see it, where can they see it? And of course, what are your schedules looking like?
So, so for those who want to watch Kaning Itim, we are inviting you to watch at our studio, Studio A Productions in Eulogio Amang Rodriguez, Pasig. Our schedules are for November 15 and 16. We also have shows for November 22 and 23.
All right. And before we let you go, Moesha, Dana, we asked this question to our guests. Our show is called Beautiful Day. What makes your day beautiful? Let's start with Moesha.
Ooh, that's do you want me to stay for 4 more hours?
You have maybe 10 seconds.
40 seconds.
I'm just kidding. What makes my day beautiful is knowing that I get to choose how to be for the day. I get to choose how to interact with people and how to make sure that everyone is also happy.
Did you choose to forgive?
I did, yeah.
Ayun.
I did.
So choosing.
Yeah, all right. Sorry.
Dana.
Actually, quite the same. Kasi like in the story then, I forgot to say this earlier, it's the power of choice. So we all have that kind of power in us, and me choosing to make this day as beautiful as I can make it.
I like that.
And thank you for choosing to be with us today, for joining us today, writer Dana Bernardino and operations manager Moesha Kiel de los Reyes of Kaning Itim. Thank you so much for joining us.
And of course, as we love having you here, and we love the fact that malapit na yung Pasko, ladies and gentlemen.
yes.
We have now how many days left? We have 41 beautiful days till Christmas. We are getting there, ladies and gentlemen. And that is our wrap on our show this Friday, November 14th. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Paolo de Rosario. Have a great weekend. Keep it cool and take it easy, Manila.
And I'm Ann Asis-Carilo. Quick shout out to my beauty sponsors, Lift Clinic and Pino Beauty Lounge. And thank you, Our Home, for our fantastic set. Have a great day and a great weekend ahead. And always remember to choose joy and spread love and kindness wherever you go. See you again next week, 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. only here on Beautiful Day.